Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shane's Life as a Fantasy Draft, episode 14. We have some breaking news even before we hit the music. Today, we are joined by Shane. Psych! Ain't nobody here named Shane. Today, we're talking brackets. We're finishing up NFL free agency. Tyronn Lue walked away weeks before the playoffs. Let's hit that music. Thank you all so much for listening. We are so happy to have you. My name is Daniel Gewirtz. I am joined, as always, by the Ad Rock and Mike D to my MCA, John Gorman and Greg Dennis. Greg Dennis, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. I've been better. I've been better. The brackets have made me sad and happy at the same time. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling all kind of emotions and feels right now.
To me, I feel like once my bracket is done for, which mine is completely done for, I can start to enjoy the tournament for what it is and just enjoy it, you know? So that's where I'm at right now. John Gorman, how are you doing tonight?
It's been a weird couple of weeks, if we're being honest. Mm-hmm. The largest festival ever known to mankind, the Nerd Olympics, just ended up here. And also, apparently, there's people running around bombing parts of the city, which is real strange. But we're going to take a reprieve from that. We're going to talk about sports, which is awesome, because nothing says things are falling into anarchy quite like busted brackets.
That and, it's always good to try to maintain a sense of normalcy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There ain't nothing normal about this bracket.
No, nothing. I think, do we start with Virginia losing to a credit union?
Yes. We do.
I think that's the way to start. Virginia losing to the Old Bay Credit Union.
Unbelievable. I said that, so on last week's show, now that we're deep enough that we can call back to previous shows, I was like, they're not going to win. They could be a credit union, and I never vote for those people to win. And here they are. They didn't just beat Virginia. They waxed Virginia.
Well, and everyone played, all the analysts, and I think we're about to do the same thing. Everyone played the hindsight game, right? And everyone looked back and they were like, well, yeah, Virginia had a bad offense, and they were all defense. And so if they faced a good offense, which they did, they might lose. And it's like, yeah, but nobody had UMBC being that good offense that Virginia was going to face and lose.
Yeah, UMBC scored 12 points in the first half against Albany a few weeks ago. That was not a team that anyone should have been scared of.
Lost by 40.
Yeah, what was it, 83-39 or something like that? It was bananas. There was no reason Virginia should have lost that game, even with his Tony Bennett's distinct style of play, where he just sort of lets his team hold the ball until the last second of the shot clock.
Yeah.
So shout out back to last episode where Daniel and I were trying to figure out which team had the cartoon puppy retriever. UMBC, turns out.
It was UMBC. Now, they are not golden retrievers. They made sure to mention this and talk about this about 1,000 times on ESPN. They are not golden retrievers. They are, of course, Chesapeake Bay retrievers.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I texted Daniel through the game, and I was like, oh, that's them.
Those are the retrievers. Found them.
That's the cartoon puppy.
I mean, if you've ever told a Guatemalan, hey, does your family make tacos? Now you know, the difference between the Chesapeake retriever and the golden retriever.
Well, and also, as we are all alums of the great university at Buffalo, not the University of Buffalo. And I think they announced themselves this week.
They did. God, was that was the most, as an alum of two schools, that was the most excited I'd been for a NCAA tournament result in 15 years. It really was. And I don't know how it was for you guys, but Is that like the most hype you've ever been for an NCAA win?
Oh,
it was the culmination of my being.
Yeah, I used to go to UB men's basketball games. It was me and 125 other people my freshman year of college.
I am a proud Mighty Maniac.
Absolutely.
I still have my shirt.
Absolutely. I remember, this was my favorite moment. I don't remember the kid's name, but there was a kid who painted his body blue for every game. And he and his two friends would do research on the opposing team and their players, not statistical research, but research into their personal lives, because there were only 100 people in the stadium, and you knew the coach could hear you yelling at him about his divorce. And there was one coach who was going through a divorce, and he's screaming at this poor guy, you should be at home with your kids. This is a hard time for them. And this coach turns around and is crying on the sideline.
It's funny you bring that up because Rory McIlroy was just talking about that. Like somebody was heckling him at the Arnold Palmer this weekend, calling out his wife's name.
Yeah, the internet's a scary place. So
that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not saying I certainly don't condone any of that. I'm just saying like that's what I remember. That was the 04-05 season. That was my freshman year of college, and that's what I remember about. So to see UB go from that, where you couldn't fill out the student section, to the UB fans were tailgating outside the arena in Boise.
and crashing through foldable tables in Buffalo.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I loved that moment right at the start of the game. It wasn't Chris Webber. Who was announcing the game with Chris Webber? I forget the guy's name, but
matter.
They were panning. Matter. They were panning across the parking lot, and the guy said, "Wow, they're tailgating here." Because by the way, it was like 2:00 in Boise or 3:00.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they're tailgating. It's Buffalo. They've been drunk for 7 hours.
They've been in the parking lot since sunrise, shirtless since noon. They're ready to go.
Oh man, and even
they're coming out in droves. They're eating beef on wick. They've got hot wing sauce on their cheeks and a Labatt Blue in their hand.
That's very good.
I wish Howard Cosell could narrate the lives of Buffalo fans.
Oh my god. So let's take a trip over here around the bracket.
Can we stay in the South? The South is the most fun bracket.
The South is crazy. It's lit. It's #lit, which of course it is because it's in the ATL. You've got all the you've got all the high odd numbers. You've got a 5, a 7, a 9, and an 11.
Those are all odd numbers. You're correct.
Fighting to go to the Final Four. Loyola Chicago, which I was certain was an art school. It's not even the most famous Loyola. It's
not. Oh, that's true though.
It's so true. Is going up against the Nevada Wolfpack, that vaunted basketball factory. That's the most. That to me is everything. That's the game I want to see.
Nevada, not even the most famous Wolfpack in the tournament.
No, no, not even the most famous school in Nevada.
There was a lot of Wildcats in this here bracket.
Well, the Wildcat is the most common college mascot, period.
I thought it was the Bearcat.
No, we literally had this discussion last week.
And I still maintain that I think it's the Bearcat.
How many Bearcats do you think there are in college?
I know there's at least 2.
There are more Bearcats than there are Bear Claws.
Oh, I wish there was a bear claw. Oh, I wish there was a bear claw. There's just a big old custard-filled donut mascot. That'd be wonderful.
That actually would be a really cool mascot. There should be more mascots more schools named after food.
I agree with that. I'm sick of my team holding it together for everybody.
The Rochester Red Wings in Rochester, New York, changed the name of their minor league baseball team from the Red Wings to the Plates, which is an homage to the garbage plate. So for one night, they were the Rochester Plates.
Just one night, and I failed to buy a hat. Okay. I don't know how.
I have one.
You bought a garbage plate hat?
I have one.
Nice.
Yes, because Nick Tahoe's turned 100 years old, so they turned the Red Wings into the Plates for a night. And when I bought the hat, it came delivered to me, and the hat was wrapped in tinfoil on a paper plate.
Stop.
That's too much.
That's true. That is how it came.
Were they also high when they gave it to you?
They would have to be, and you would have to be high when you open it.
Yeah. Well, half of that story's true.
Now there is a very prominent sports franchise named after a food, and it used to go by a different name.
Mm. Oh yes.
Ah yes. They are now they're not the Suns anymore. They're the Jumbo Shrimp, which is not quite as. I would much prefer a Bear Claw. I think that's a more appropriate mascot for a college basketball team.
It would have to. Yeah, it would have to be a college basketball team.
Yeah,
I think you would have to give your team a tomato sauce. You know what I mean? Something that's going to come back on you.
What? Wait a second. I'm gonna have to ask you to explain this.
Yeah.
Can we please turn that into a? Can we clip that and turn that into a drop?
Yeah. So you eat the tomato sauce. You eat your plate of tomato sauce, and a half hour later, you get the indigestion.
What?
It's coming right back up on you.
Hold up. Did you just pronounce indigestion? Indigestion?
Indigestion.
For what? For just for fun, just to see how it felt?
Yes.
And how do you think that's going for you? Indigestion.
Take my mush.
I think it's going quite well because I think my team name is incredible.
Oh God.
That's great. So
I'm just so tired of this Gilgeous-Alexander and Hamidou Diallo. Like I'm so tired. I was watching this Kentucky-Buffalo game, and Buffalo showed up, man. They showed up.
They did.
And if they had just hit half their wide-open threes that they missed in the first half of that game, we're talking about a completely different game going down the stretch run.
Daniel, what did we talk about, though?
You said it. You said live by the three, die by the three. And against Arizona, They lived by the three. Against Kentucky, they died by it. It's absolutely right. You're not wrong. It's a strategy that works much better in the professional realm than it does in college. But
I love the fact that we record a show that I can be right once in a while, and I can go back and hear somebody else tell me I was right.
It's gotta be a good feeling for you.
Man.
Well, it's a better feeling than indigestion.
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 I just hate looking at this South bracket, and Buffalo would have beaten every other team except for Kentucky with their 75 points. True. They would have tied Nevada, but they would have beaten every other team.
Yeah, they would have.
63-62 was Loyola, Tennessee. Cincinnati only scored 73 points. 50-43 was K-State, UMBC. My God.
That was a game that was uglier than a $3 dress.
Combined score, those two teams would not have beaten Kentucky.
No. I'm curious now, like, what if it just reminds me of, like, that one year that, like, Kentucky made the title game as, like, a 9 seed. And I was just like, why are you here? Like, I thought we were supposed to be done with you, and all of a sudden we're praising you for being this resilient, scrappy band of underdogs. Like,
I mean,
I don't want this. I don't want to see a final where it's like, 5-seeded Kentucky versus
One seed, no
11 seed.
Hold on. I mean, five seeded Kentucky is the highest seed left in the South bracket. So we're probably going to get 5 seeded Kentucky against Villanova in the Final Four.
I hate this.
What's your?
This
I'm
so
sorry.
much.
No, they're not. They wouldn't face each other in the Final Four.
No, they would be the final.
Who?
That would be the final.
That would be the final. Yeah.
We are actually guaranteed a championship round team. At least one of the teams is not going to be a 1 or a 2.
That's true.
That's pretty cool.
That's fine.
No, but it's pretty.
Cool.
It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare.
Except that team is Kentucky. Like, do you feel like it was like that one year that like St. Joseph's was a 1 seed and they got bounced? Like, it still would have been cool to see St. Joseph's in the Final Four, because why?
But here's my thing. Here's my thing with Kentucky, right? Like, we always talk about how dirty Kentucky is and how dirty John Calipari is. All of the NCAA basketball is going through an FBI investigation, and you know who's clean as a whistle right now? It's John Calipari.
UMBC?
True story.
Yes, UMBC also has committed no crimes. I love that Sean Williams literally committed a felony to get DeAndre Ayton, and they got bounced in the first round. Also that. But I'm just saying, John Calipari is over here like, yeah, man, I'm not breaking any rules. I'm just doing what I know these kids want, which is I'm getting y'all to college, or getting y'all out of college to the pros. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
The NBA.
Getting you straight to the NBA.
And I don't know where you guys stand on this, but I actually like John Calipari. I do. I like John Calipari. But I don't enjoy Kentucky basketball on the whole. Like, it's like cheering for the house in blackjack.
Well, no, I feel more like cheering for Duke is like cheering for the house, or North Carolina.
I feel the same exact way about Duke as I do about Kentucky. Like, the both teams are equally repugnant to me. And frankly, when they're both on the court, I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, they have the same colors.
That's because they're both blue?
Blue and white.
There's a lot of blue.
Look,
There's
to be
a lot
fair,
of blue right now in here.
UB
was blue. Kentucky's blue. Nose blue.
Hey,
Xavier's blue.
Royal blue is a good color.
I agree. So funny story. I wore the same royal blue graduation gown to all 3 of my graduation ceremonies.
That ain't funny.
It's not funny, but it's like the royal blue's a thing. It's a strong color. Everybody wears it somewhere.
I wore royal blue, and then I wore black. Because I had to get hooded.
Back in black.
Not hooded. Did I get hooded? I don't know. Hooded. I wore a hood.
All right. So the dream Final Four for me, if I had to go through here and just pick the weirdest, best Final Four.
Weirdest? Okay.
Would, like the one that would just like make me giggle the most would be like Loyola Chicago for obvious reasons. Gonzaga.
Go Zags.
Because I think they finally deserve it. Even though like Gonzaga has now been like a legitimate thing for the last
20 years. They were in the
finals
last year.
A long time.
Yeah. It's still, you still want to see them get over the hump. It's still fun to see them. I think it's the actual aesthetics of looking at the name Gonzaga. 11 seed Syracuse for purely selfish homeristic reasons. And then, yeah, man. Give me West
Virginia just to see full court press for an entire Final Four game.
Get out of here with West Virginia.
I would love that.
West Virginia's going to be too tired.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, West Virginia's press is one of the most entertaining brands of basketball I've seen in a lot. It reminds me of those Arkansas teams from the mid-'90s where Nolan Richardson would coast, and they'd have like 94 Feet of Hell, I think was the name of it. Man. Oh, it was fun. Just breakneck, like in-your-face press defense. So great.
Yeah, but I think, no, you're right about that would be the most fun, but it's probably not going to happen. Probably the most interesting game left on the schedule right now, though, is Syracuse-Duke, right? For just historic college basketball reasons. I guess Duke-Kansas would be more interesting if that happened.
Yeah, like if you're thinking about college basketball blue bloods and who's left. Like the Midwest is where it's at. Because you've got Syracuse, Kansas, and Duke, which are 3 of the top 5 winningest programs of all time. And then Clemson.
And then also Clemson.
I like Clemson. And also Clemson, a good football school. Not a great one,
Yeah,
but
stay playing football.
They're just not allowed to have a basketball program because Deshaun Watson's just that good.
Stick to sports.
Yes, because there are these little tiny schools like Loyola Chicago. Loyola? I don't even know how to say that.
Loyola.
Loyola. What?
La Jolla.
That's not La Jolla. Latoya?
No, that's a Jackson.
I believe Latoya Chicago is the name of a Southside strip club.
Ooh.
Sorry.
But that's why I like basketball, because these small schools shine. I'm sick of these big-time schools. Okay, you have football. Go get your football and keep your football. We get the nitty-gritty basketball stuff popping off.
I would love to see like a purely mid-major tournament. Like it was just like all single bid conferences.
Right.
Do they still run that? Does ESPN still run the Bracket Busters tournament?
There's the
NIT.
NIT.
At the beginning of the college basketball season, I know there were a couple of years that UB was in the ESPN Bracket Busters tournament. It was just a tournament of mid-major schools that, just to get them on TV and to get anybody to care about the college basketball regular season.
They did that right after, they would do it right after the Super Bowl. Or like they would do it they do it at some weird time of year where like right before conference play. Just to kind of like get teams on people's radars.
Looking it up right now.
No, don't look it up.
My job is to look stuff up on this show.
You are the statistician.
He's the statistician. I'm the sound guy, and
he's the talent.
Do something.
Oh, so now I mean nothing to this podcast. I do nothing here now.
Your life is a fantasy draft.
Sure is. I'm Shane all along.
Oh no!
You know what? It's not.
No, we can't reveal that plot twist yet. We're only 14 episodes deep.
It's not.
We haven't even started. The island's not even moving through time yet.
It's not who Shane is.
We have to go back.
It's what Shane is.
What is the meaning of Shane? Yeah. What is a fantasy draft? Who can tell? Does anybody really ever get drafted anyway?
That's a very good point. I went to a trivia night the other night, and my team name was Shane's Life as a Fantasy Draft, and everyone thought it was a funny beer pun.
Well, was it?
No. Well,
What's
it?
the beer pun?
Draft.
Oh, draft. Oh,
yeah, everybody giggled when it said Shane's Life as a Fantasy Draft, and I was like, no.
Wait. Fantasy draft needs to become like one of those $1 pint beers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Why is fantasy
draft is a beer already? I'm on.
Well, hey,
why don't you look that up?
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm on it,
Daniel. Do your job. You're the statistician, and you're hoping that it exists, or you're claiming it exists.
This is only from October of 2010, though. I don't know if they're still brewing.
What is it?
I don't think it's a thing.
No, October of 2010.
It's not real.
It's not a thing anymore. Someone's got to take that over. Someone's got to carry that torch.
Let's look it up on Beer Advocate. They have everything. They would know for sure.
Oh, you want to know what my Beer Advocate name is?
No, what's yours?
You down with DDH?
Fantasy Draft 2015, Rifon Brewing.
That's mine. DDH means double dry hopped. It's a beer thing. Naughty by Nature did a song.
No results on Beer Advocate. No results. Yeah.
So I think we need to start brewing, gentlemen.
I think we've finally
that's our hook.
Found our meal ticket. That's our viral moment. That's our snackable content.
Yeah. Well, the Sunday meal ticket's a real thing.
Yes, the Sunday meal ticket is a real thing. Can you explain this for the
whoa,
listeners?
don't get ahead of yourself.
The lay listener.
Steve, can you please explain this to Steve?
Listen up, Steve. So back in the day, I used to pick a football game, and I would make a dish from one of the cities. And then I would pick the winners of the other games.
That was like the worst explanation I've ever heard in my life.
Why would you tell that like that?
I don't know. How else am I supposed to say it?
Like, listen, I had this idea once.
I mean,
I'm not gonna.
It was a good idea.
The story.
It was a good idea.
It was a great idea. I think
you didn't sell it. You didn't
should have sold it a little better
in the way that I was hoping.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling two people that already know, and the people that are listening have already turned off.
What do you say? What are you saying? As soon as we started talking about Royal Blue, just decide, or bear claws.
Probably when I made that tomato sauce joke. I think is when this whole thing went down.
Is there any other bracket worth talking about?
I mean, Syracuse Duke is interesting. That's the Jedi versus the evil empire for me.
Yeah, it's really the evil empire versus the evil empire for everybody else.
Yeah, no question. Because if you ask anybody, like there's 4 schools really where the alumni are just obnoxious and they will never not tell you that they went there. One is any Ivy League school. Okay, that's like the worst, right? Second, Duke. Like, Duke is like almost up there with Ivies as far as like people that you just don't want to be in a room with. And then after that, it's your journalism, tug of war between Northwestern and Syracuse. Those are it. Like those are the most obnoxious schools in the country that aren't SEC schools. Can I add an addendum?
I went to the crown jewel of the SUNY system. University at. That's how I want somebody to say it. Yeah, the at.
Like why is the at? Why do we not have those shirts?
None of the
how come Khalil Mack doesn't say that?
Khalil Mack. Why is it that none of these athletes, James Starks, who's a Super Bowl champion, Khalil Mack, who might be the best defender in the NFL, why are none of them stepping up to let everybody know it's not the University of Buffalo?
It's the at.
It drives me insane.
I don't know.
But can I add an addendum
we need to make that shirt.
Us hating on fans of certain college athletics teams? I can't. I don't understand. Yeah. It never made any sense to me, and it makes me hate teams like Duke and Alabama, especially. People who did not go to that college but are somehow fans of that college's teams.
Drives me insane.
T-shirt fans.
Michigan
here.
Michigan
if you
is
are,
the worst.
14 years old, but one of your parents went to Duke. You can be a fan of Duke, even if you're not even considering going there.
I'll allow that.
Up until you go to college.
If you never went to college and your parents never went to college, yet you're repping like a college football team, leave it alone. Yeah. Get out of here.
And if you went to college, I went to UB, I will not be a fan of Duke. I went to UB. I will be a fan of UB.
I will not be a fan of Bowling Green. That's for damn
sure. Get the hell
out
of here.
Miami at Ohio.
Get rid of them Bobcats. I booed Maurice Endor off of Madison Square Garden's floor.
Ball State.
The state of ball.
Every direction in Michigan.
All of the Michigan. Eastern, Central,
all of
Western. Michigan. Get out of here.
Forget about it.
Northwestern, East Southern, Southern.
Northern Illinois, Southern Illinois.
West Eastern.
Eastern Illinois. All the directional Midwest schools. Nah. That's
so
MAC,
getting back to the important thing that we're talking about here, which is UB. The way to keep Nate Oates as head coach of UB, you gotta get UB into a real conference, right? Like, how can UB get out of the MAC?
I mean, do you?
And get into, like, I don't know, the Big Ten. Yeah, I think the Big Ten is the next logical step.
No, I think he scouts talent. They get to the tournament next year and they make more noise. I think that's what they do.
I'm too scared of Nato's leaving. I know he just signed an extension. I'm too scared of him getting an offer from like Florida State or something and just ditching. Yeah,
or like Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh man, as much as I want to make fun of Virginia, there was
it's hard to.
I forget. I don't know the kid's name, but he was at the press conference. This annoying reporter was like, "Did you know that a number 16 had never beaten a number 1 seed before today?" And like, this kid has just suffered the most embarrassing, agonizing defeat of his entire life. And he's like, "Yeah, I knew that. Thanks." Like, why would you ask that question?
Yeah, you know who? Because he was a Northwestern alum.
I was gonna say maybe he went to Syracuse, but John beat me to the Northwestern one.
It was jokeception.
Yeah.
So yes. So I think how does the largest public flagship university in the state of New York not belong to a?
Well, I mean, because they've only been in Division I athletics since like 2002.
Sure, but like, are you telling me that like University at Buffalo is any less of a school than like Rutgers?
Again, Rutgers has been in Division I athletics for many decades.
Yeah, they play college football like they invented it.
So what you're saying is they need to climb through the ranks. They need to put in the time to get.
Well, they couldn't get
division,
into. I mean, they couldn't
conference.
Just start playing Division I athletics and go straight into a major conference. Like, they couldn't do that because when you're in like Division II, Division III,
because the NCAA
you don't have as many. You don't have as many scholarships as other schools, so you're just not good enough.
DePaul is in the Big East.
I'm very surprised that UB,
and I get
when
that
the Big East lost like all of its teams to the ACC and the Big Ten. I was surprised that UB didn't make their way into the Big East then.
I know the answer to this. It's because the Big East is all Catholic schools.
Yes, that is correct.
There was a split between like the small urban Catholic colleges and the larger football factories. And so they essentially, that fracture began in like 1992 when like the U showed up in the Big East. And people were like, why do we have Miami in the Big East? That doesn't make any sense. And then like they started just adding teams that played football. And then eventually, like, the old school guard, like, your Georgetowns, your St. John's, and your Villanovas were like, you know what? We're pretty good at basketball. We're going to do our own thing.
That makes sense.
So we out.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, we out.
Why are the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East?
Oh God.
I've
never understood that because it's not like Dallas relocated to Dallas.
No, and it's not like Dallas ever should have been, like, because they were in the NFC East originally. They should have been the NFC Central originally. They were misplaced from the
and that was
get-go.
at the same time that the Phoenix Cardinals were in the NFC East, which makes even less sense.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that made no sense. It had been
when
that way for
the NFL.
years after
Here's
they had
another
left
missed opportunity.
St.
When the
Louis.
NFL went to Northeast, South, and West, I know they wanted to preserve the the rivalries, but like, give the Dallas Cowboys their own division, the NFC South. That's a huge marketing campaign that they just blew.
It is true.
They would have fit in nicely too. They would have fit in nicely with
Falcons.
the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers. That's it. No, the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers.
What?
You got your whooping boy in the Bucks. You got your bottom. You got your bottom.
Okay.
I put the Falcons in the East.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
put the Panthers
Charlotte's
in the
further
East.
east than Atlanta.
No, you gotta spread that love. You need the whooping boy. You need the Bucks in there. You gotta have that bottom feeder.
What the Bucks literally won the Super Bowl the year they went to that divisional format.
And they haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl since then.
And they only won that Super Bowl because Barrett Robbins is bipolar alcoholic. I don't know why that's funny.
Wait, I'm not sure we should be laughing at that, but we're laughing at
That's
that.
sad.
No, that was just
You
that's
just
sad.
didn't
That
show
is
up to the
sad.
Super Bowl.
I was laughing. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, that was like a couple of years ago when the Falcons defense didn't show up to the Super Bowl.
They didn't show up to the second half.
Bunch of bipolar drunks over there.
Wasn't there who was it? Eugene Robinson, who didn't dress for the Super Bowl because he picked up a hooker the night before?
Oh, that is not a story I'm aware of.
I didn't know that was frowned upon.
I'm sorry, you didn't know that was frowned upon?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just kind of illegal.
That's not so bad.
Let me just double check this, so I'm not,
No, it's okay. Be reckless.
This
It's
guy-
all right. Just accuse him.
This guy couldn't play in the Super Bowl because he did he had sex with a hooker.
Yeah.
But Greg Hardy could get a $3 million deal
Yep.
after he choked his girlfriend on a bed of guns.
Yeah. Bunch
So,
of
yeah.
jerks.
Yeah, the NFL's got some priority issues for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got arrested for soliciting a prostitute the night before the Super Bowl in Miami.
Well,
In
of
a
course.
seedy section of Miami, which I'm sure now is beautiful.
Or it just is the whole city. I feel like the city of Miami
what year is that?
Beach is very beautiful. The city of Miami is horrible, right?
There's some lovely parts of Miami.
I just would
I've
stay
been-
off the bridges.
Yeah.
I've been to Miami proper, like very, very intermittently, and I got to say, most of it looked kind of rugged.
Yeah. Miami Beach is great.
Yes.
I thought you guys were big DU fans.
I love DU, but that's Coral Gables. That's
Yeah, Coral Gables is nice.
That is a gorgeous, like, there are not enough words to describe how pretty it is there.
gorgeous.
But that's its own, got its own zip code, it's got its own post office. It's its own thing. Sad to say. So, all right. So,
Well, you know what? Look, let's get out of brackets. Let's get to the NFL. We're already talking about it anyways.
I don't even think we picked. I don't even think we repicked brackets. It doesn't matter.
Are we
We don't need
repicking
to. Let's-
brackets?
you know what?
I still
No,
have- I
we're
still have
never-
UB
No, you
winning the
can't repick
championship.
your bracket.
You gotta go with the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
So if
That's
you got,
right. You got a lot of red on your bracket. That's your problem, bud.
sorry about your life.
About your Shane's life.
NFL free agency, guys. The league year is upon us. It is new. It started last Wednesday. All of the deals that have been rumored about have been signed. You know who's killing it? The Rams.
Those Rams.
Oh, the Rams got that secondary that the Rams now have.
Oh my God!
The best in football.
I'm ready for it. Give me Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, the chain snatcher
how?
and the flag thrower on the same team, playing opposite sides of the field. I want that.
How did that happen? Who let that
The
happen?
Rams are just not scared of the guys with problems, and that's great. Like
They're the new Seattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they're the new Dallas Cowboys. What are you talking about?
No,
Talking teams with
like
player problems.
Aqib Talib is not a terrible human being. He's
damn sure entertaining to watch, though.
yeah.
My God.
Marcus Peters is not a terrible, like, these aren't guys with actual like arrest records.
No, that's true.
These are just colorful characters, and I like that.
When Marcus Peters threw that flag into the stands, I likened that to the day when my mother was chasing my brother around the kitchen with the wooden spoon. And my brother ducked under the table to avoid the wooden spoon, and my mother smacked his buttocks with it, and the spoon broke. And it was like sweet, sweet liberation that day. It's like, ha, ha, ha. I was right behind it when it happened. I was like jumping up and down for complete joy. Like, I'll never get hit with that wooden spoon again. Now, in my mind, not thinking that she could just go to the store and buy a new one. But either way,
she probably
when Marcus
had like
Peters
5 others.
Yeah, when Marcus Peters threw that flag into the stands, he threw that flag in the stands for everybody who's ever had a flag thrown upon them.
Absolutely. And I love that the what the referees have to resort to at that point is the referee who had his flag thrown into the stands had to take off his hat and throw his hat.
Yeah, he's got to throw his hat now. I think they should have like a spare flag, like in their sock.
Well, they do. They have referees have multiple flags,
but just not readily available.
Yeah,
not
they
at
have
one time though.
Yeah, not
on their person.
No. What I
I'm
want to
sure
say
there are
is
multiple flags available inside the stadium. I'm sure it's not like a hardship to go and get a second flag. Greg's point Greg's point here is that they should have a second flag on them in case they have to call multiple penalties on the same play.
Did you bring an extra flag? I forgot mine. What is this like? It's like four. It's like 4 potheads with lighters. I don't have a lighter. The Rams are winning the Super Bowl. Give me the Rams-Jaguars Super Bowl we deserved last year.
Sure.
And let's make it happen this year. Like, I want that. I like what Kansas City's doing. They've now got an offense that's just...
But they lost a big piece of their defense.
That's fine. They can just run go routes.
They can draft that, though, I suppose.
They can draft that.
The draft is going to be very interesting.
Oh. This is going to be a very good draft.
It won't be a rough draft.
No, definitely not.
No, with
the Jets, though. What are the Jets thinking right now? Can we talk about that move?
No, let's talk about that. The Jets made a big trade.
Given the Kings ransom to go up 3 spots. Who do they got their eyes on?
It's got to be a quarterback, right?
You would think.
But who? What quarterback?
If you got the... Go ahead.
I was just going to say I really hope it's Baker Mayfield, but you sounded like you had a real point.
No, I think so. The rumor is Cleveland would go Saquon 1 and quarterback 4. So the Jets would trade to 3 to sort of rooster block the Browns from drafting a quarterback.
Sure.
Because I don't think the Giants are going to take a QB that high. So by trading up to 3, the Jets then have their pick of all of the quarterbacks in the draft.
See, I don't know how I feel about this quarterback class. I don't think anybody has proven themselves to be I don't think any of the top 3 quarterbacks are going to be the answer for any teams drafting them within the top 10. The Bills made a move. They moved up in the draft. I don't know why. I don't know who they have their eye on. I truly hope it's not a quarterback. I just don't think that. I think there's a lot of hype behind this quarterback class.
I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be really good.
Yes, I agree with that.
So,
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you never know.
I think he'll be okay. I don't think there's some okay. Think about this. Deshaun Watson went 12 overall last year. How many teams passed him up that needed a quarterback that did not take him?
Well, I mean, there were probably several.
I feel like Deshaun Watson's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So you're talking about 11 teams who probably don't have a quarterback as good as him.
I would argue Lamar Jackson, what if he's really, really transcendently excellent, the way he was in college?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what you have to hope for if you're a team that needs a quarterback, which the Browns and the Giants are, and the Jets.
Right.
I think
how many?
I was just gonna say I think that the if you need a quarterback, you take a quarterback.
If I had a boatload of picks, and my team was pretty well stocked at other positions, I would just load up on QBs. I would do what Washington did.
Mm-hmm.
I'd do RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Right, but you went round 1 and round 4. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a chance on a second, third round quarterback. I mean, you take the best player on the board. Period.
I agree.
That's the player you pick, especially top 10. You pick the best player on the board. I don't think these quarterbacks are the top 10 players in the draft, and I think the first 10 teams should really think about who they're drafting. I mean, if Saquon Barkley doesn't go 1 overall, the Browns are doomed in general. But I think if you pass up on Saquon Barkley, I think you're making a huge mistake. I think he's going to be better than Ezekiel Elliott was first season.
That's an excellent point. And the Browns, since they have a quarterback good enough to take you to the playoffs right now, they have Tyrod Taylor right now.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
They have a playoff caliber quarterback.
They should, by all rights, go, Saquon Barkley number 1 and the best offensive lineman on the board at number 4.
Yeah,
I agree with that. That's a great draft strategy.
And then probably...
And they're going to have to because they lost somebody.
Also, Tyrod Taylor's going to be throwing to Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry, and Corey Coleman.
Yeah, these are good receivers.
He's not messing around with whatever he
normal
had.
Browns receivers.
Deontay Thompson.
Yeah, who did he have in Buffalo?
I can't name.
He had a hobbled Kelvin Benjamin.
Hobbled Sammy Watkins for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I mean, when Sammy was healthy, Tyrod showed what he can do. I think Tyrod, if he gets a little bit of time throwing with Landry and Gordon, I think there's something special there. Especially Landry's real good at catching short passes. He loves those short passes. Tyrod loves throwing them.
And he's got Duke Johnson to toss it to coming out of the backfield.
And possibly Saquon Barkley
And possibly...
Yeah.
That's a really nice offense.
Yeah, and they still have a Hall of Fame offensive lineman on the line right now.
No, he retired.
No, he retired. That's why I'm saying they lost a big piece of that offensive line.
He officially retired. I heard he was considering not retiring.
He made it official on the first day of the league year.
Never saw a winning season.
Not once.
1-31 in his last 32 games.
God, what a way to go out, huh?
For one of the best offensive linemen, certainly of his generation. He's up there.
Going out on top on the bottom.
That's sad.
I can't imagine being that good at my job and watching everyone else suck that badly all around me for 10 years.
I can't believe he didn't just make request a trade to a good team, or just let his contract expire and go to a good team.
Yeah, maybe I just want to go away in free agent. Maybe just really loved Cleveland.
Oh,
maybe he's tired. Yeah. You guys ever think of that?
Yeah,
maybe he's ready to go sell used cars.
Well, he is. He's got a podcast. The Tomahawk podcast with.
Look at this guy plugging other people's podcasts right now.
You can't be plugging other people's podcasts.
That's basically how I built my writing career, is plugging other people's blogs.
You didn't even plug our podcast.
There's the Tomahawk podcast. Him and Andrew Hawkins are both eventually going to end up on television, I do believe.
Oh, I bet Thomas is in the booth this season.
Oh, easy.
Yep, I agree with that.
Especially with the success that Tony Romo just had.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know what Tony Romo reminds me of?
Woody from Toy Story?
Well, yes. Other than Woody from Toy Story. He looks like Woody from Toy Story. It's uncanny. I think he reminds me of like a more playful Theismann. How obnoxious was Theismann?
Theismann was awful. It was let
me tell you what he did right there. Here's what he did. I'm gonna tell you what he did. This is what he did. I used to do this when I used to play. This is what I used to do. So he's doing it too.
Now what?
That's Theismann. But like Romo's like, hey guys, check this out. He's gonna run this play because they're doing this. And you're like, oh God, Tony, tell me more about that. Let me tell you what he's gonna do right here. This is what I used to do right here. I used to play right here. That's what I used to do. It caused a little 23-7-8-6 QB. That's what this was right here. That's what we used to run.
That's so true. Why do I love it when Tony Romo does it, but I hate it when Joe Theismann did it?
Because there's a playful innocence to it. That's why you love it when Gruden does it too.
No,
Gruden is just
I don't much like John Gruden. I never got into John Gruden as an ESPN personality.
Spider 2 wide banana.
Wow. That's his favorite play.
I'm not going to be a real patient guy. Why did you do that, Greg? Why did you say such a thing that's going to only make me think of Joe Theismann now when I listen to Tony Romo?
I just ruined Tony Romo for you.
The one great, beautiful, pure thing left in this godforsaken world, and you have turned it into Joe Theismann.
I feel that's not the first time I've heard that.
Oh, so you're not only are you ruining Tony Romo, but you're stealing someone else's joke to do it?
What? Whose joke?
You just said that's not the first time I've heard that.
No, it's not the first time someone's told me I've ruined something because of Joe Theismann.
Oh, okay. Well, because of Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
What did you break? Would you break their lower leg?
No, that was because of Lawrence Taylor.
Had some rough sex once, and yeah.
Yeah, I wish Lawrence Taylor didn't do so much cocaine, because then, like, Joe Theismann could have still been playing football and not announcing, and we would have never known.
Wait a second. I don't think the cocaine is the reason why Lawrence Taylor destroyed his leg. That was just a regular football play. That was just.
Let me tell you what happened there when I broke my leg there. Let me tell you what happened. I was dropping back I always do.
Now I'm on the.
I always drop back like that, and what happened was my toe cleat got stuck in the turf, and LT just caught me real good. Caught me real good across my hip area right there. Broke my femur. Bang. Tibia went right out the skin, poked right out of the skin. That's what happened there. Happens all the time in football. I knew it was going to happen when I stepped back. As soon as my toe got stuck in the turf, I was like, oh boy, I'm going to break my leg real big here.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
can we get Greg to do a game and just Howard Cosell?
Greg talking to himself. Greg talking to himself for an entire game as Howard Cosell with Joe Theismann.
And it's 3rd and 6, and the Eagles are on the Patriots 11. Hey, watch what he did here. See here with this. I used to do this too.
Oh my god.
I will never watch it. It's like
there's not much we can say right now.
What channel would that be?
UMBC.
I don't know.
So is Lamar Jackson going to be the first quarterback taken off the board, or a team's going to be too scared?
He's gonna be the last of the first bunch.
He'll be the last of the
He's
three.
He's going to go after Rosen and after
Rosen will go first for some strange reason.
Josh Rosen just screams like Southern California rich quarterback captain of the football team. I feel like guy.
Hey, sunshine.
That's because that's who he is.
Well, yes, I know, but I don't think it's almost archetypical. It's purely central casting. Mm-hmm. He's just I'm the quarterback. He's Paul Walker in Varsity Blues, you know.
Too soon.
But if he was, Californian. Oh yeah. But and then there's Josh Allen, who's your poster boy for corn-fed meat and potatoes, big strong guy. I don't know if he talks like that. He probably doesn't. But and then Sam Darnold just
reminds me of Matt Ryan, the guy who's going to be just fine.
I agree. Sam Darnold, I just maybe it's the last name Darnold.
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with it.
It's pronounced Darnold.
That would make it significantly worse.
I think almost any last name that sounds like it could be a typo.
Yeah, if his name was Sam Arnold, it would be a lot better.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what? I'm feeling this guy. Maybe he should go number 1 overall. Sam Arnold? Solid, strong quarterback name. Sam Darnold? Even if it was like Sam Darnell. But Darnold. Like, it's like there should be like a missing apostrophe in between the D and the A.
Yeah, but I don't want an apostrophe in my quarterback
Darnold
name.
No,
Palmer.
you can't have Darnold Palmer.
What's he mixing with his lemonade? Darnold Palmer.
What the hell?
Apple
Does
juice.
Does anything start with D?
Sunny D.
Ah, yes.
There you go. It's Sunny D. It's Sunny D and iced tea. It's Sunny Tea.
Sunny T.
Sounds dreadful, by the way.
We're gonna make those at the get together.
Oh, the get together.
Next year's gathering of the Buffaloes.
Did you just call the gathering of the Buffaloes the get together?
Oh, the next get
I sure did.
get together.
All right, Grandma.
How old are you? Yeah. When's the next get together?
The boys drank iced tea mixed with Sunny D at the get together.
I tell you, I used to do that back in college,
I
Howard.
used to take a little Sunny D, a little iced tea, used to mix it together. I used to call it Theismann.
An iced Theismann.
You know he changed his name to Theismann so it would rhyme with Heisman.
No, that can't.
That's a
can't
lie.
possibly hold.
Yes.
Get on that, statistician.
As sure as I am breathing, he went from
I see what you
Theismann
did
to
there.
Theismann.
You just changed the pronunciation. I changed
Stories
the
often
pronunciation
told
of
about
my
how
last
the
name.
pronunciation of Joe Theismann's last name was changed to rhyme with Heisman before his senior year at Notre Dame in 1970. The way the story goes, his name was originally pronounced Theismann, but that's not exactly correct, according to what the former quarterback told the Times' Jerry Crow. Theismann said that he gave approval for the pronunciation change. That before he gave approval for his pronunciation change, he had to run it past his family. So yes, it actually is. Okay. My God.
Theismann.
That actually happened.
Sometimes
That really
I go
happened?
by
Well, actually,
Daniel.
but
Man.
okay. It's a German name, and according to his grandmother, she said in her very hard German accent, "Well, I think he's okay." Actually, the correct pronunciation is Theismann. So it's a lot closer.
You have
That sounds
you
about
speak
right.
German
Like, if you-
very
if you-
nicely. You read
Right,
it very
I mean,
well.
Thank you. That's the extent of my German.
It's pretty good.
That was much better than my German will ever be. I sound like a drunken robot trying to sing Rammstein.
So does Rammstein.
Yes.
Welcome to Shane's Life is a Fantasy Draft, yeah.
That's the version of this podcast that you buy at Ikea.
It costs $12. It
Falls
comes with
apart
free
about a
cinnamon
week
rolls.
later.
Oh, and actually, hold on. You do put this podcast together yourself.
That's true.
We give you the parts, and you have to actually piece it together.
Right, but you have to return it to the store 3 times
Yeah.
before you actually get all of the right parts.
That's also true.
And don't you dare think about getting it delivered.
Oh my God! I actually, I tried. I looked into that because they didn't have a desk that I wanted, and so I asked them about delivery. Delivery was twice the price of the desk.
$500.
That was insane. I was like, well, why do you even offer this? Like, who would ever do it?
For people that really like our
The
product.
IKEA. How close are you guys to
Very
your nearest
close.
IKEAs?
About 500 miles.
I'm about 5 miles.
Okay, 500 miles.
I've got
the same IKEA,
two.
by
I've
the
got
way.
2 within 5 miles.
Like, I'm talking about the Red Hook
It's the
IKEA.
same IKEA.
Well, I got Red Hook and I got Paramus.
Oh yeah, Paramus is really close.
You just can't go on Sundays because Paramus is closed on Sundays.
Wait, the entire
Yes.
Yeah, everything's
town?
closed except gas stations.
And you can't turn left.
Or right.
Savages, what?
You can't
Wait,
turn.
You can only drive
in New
straight
Jersey.
through Paramus.
Blown away by this. I know you can't pump your own gas, but you can't turn left, and also all the towns
Just
close on
Paramus.
Sunday.
Just Paramus, yeah.
Just
Paramus is
Paramus.
shut down.
It's very important to them. Sundays.
Family
we have
values.
an IKEA
Can
here
you
in
walk
Round
there?
Rock, and if
Oh.
can I walk there? No, it's about a 15-minute drive, but they'll deliver. It's like $50 to deliver something
Like meatballs?
within
Yeah.
like the.
That's how much it is here. It's
Yeah,
$50. You can get like, $1,000 worth of stuff delivered to your house for like $50, but then they just like open the door of their van, they throw it at you, and then they drive away with like your little Allen wrench still in the glove box.
The number of times I've missed like the most like intricate yet basic, superficial, small piece of like an IKEA thing, and I'm like, well, now I can't put the whole damn thing together.
And then people come visit
And, like,
you and
had
they
to
think you
drive back
garbage
up the-
picked your IKEA coffee table. And you're like, no, man, it just didn't come with that little tiny screw that put this whole piece together. I feel like if you buy something from IKEA, there's two things you can't say. You can't say it's a piece. You can't say, I'm putting this piece. And then you can't say space. I'm putting this piece in this space. This piece was made for this space. No. When you go to IKEA, those things don't equate to anything other than you bought a piece of junk temporarily because you couldn't afford something else for your room.
So instead of putting a piece in a space, you take spaces and you break them into pieces.
Right.
Exactly.
Let me ask you guys this. How far into an IKEA construction will you be when you won't go back because you put something in backwards?
Oh, I always go back.
ooh.
I always go back.
Oh, I don't think I've ever said. Well,
I have taken the whole thing apart.
Really, I have an entertainment
Yes.
center that I didn't realize that I put. There's a there's,
The TV faces the wall.
the TV is facing the wall. There's nothing I can do about it. All right, so I just watch.
You just
TV.
have to turn it around.
I
Daniel,
just
that's
use a
all.
mirror to watch TV.
He just listens to Raw really loud.
No, the
Program. It's a great program. I can hear it.
inside walls are on the outside, and the outside walls are on the inside. So the two doors open up the wrong way.
So the little stickers on the outside still.
Well, no, that's
Little
what threw me
C?
off. The stickers were on the outside, so I faced them
yeah.
towards the inside.
Oh, I see.
And that made me put
yeah.
the pieces in backwards. Totally my fault. I blame nobody but myself. But I didn't realize this until like I was almost done putting it together, and I was like, you know what? It'll still get put together. Like it's not like I can't finish it, so I'm just gonna finish it. I had like one step left.
That blue dresser I gave you is an IKEA piece.
And it fits perfectly in the space.
Oh, that's great. Perfect.
Well, kids,
We got to get out of here.
it's been 63 minutes, and we've.
I think once you hit the subject of
damn near
IKEA
nothing.
furniture, your podcast has ended.
Yeah.
We just need to do a whole
Unless, of
show
course,
dedicated to IKEA.
Yeah, why don't we just have an IKEA sponsored episode that's just nothing but us talking about?
Well, I think after
how
this-
great
I'm
it is
so
to
down
shop
for
I
that.
there.
think after this, they're never going to want to do that.
IKEA, please sponsor us. Be the new other half brewery.
I drank another half beer tonight during the show. It's delicious.
Oh, I was drinking a Sam Adams.
See Instagram for picture. Not right now.
What?
I post the picture after
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, that's our new thing. John, were you
that's
not?
great. Yeah, you like what I'm
were you
doing
not
there?
For that?
No, it was just you and me,
No, but
Daniel.
I feel like John should be listening to the show. I listened to your show. Did you not listen to the show?
Hey,
No, I didn't do anything last week except not be
God, I
home.
listened to both shows.
Dude, me too.
No, I was I was out and about. So I do plan on listening to the episode.
It was great.
Yeah, now that you guys called me out on it, I plan on listening to it.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, our thing, John, is
now I'm going to have to... Don't tell me what happens. I have to binge, okay?
Spoiler
I don't want any
alert.
spoilers.
We talked about NCAA brackets. Oh, no.
No! Wait, did we find out Greg is Shane?
No, that was
this week.
That was this week.
Okay, that's right. Oh, gosh.
All right.
Oh, my man.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. It really means a lot to all of us. And yeah, I guess that's it for the show today. We'll see you guys next week. John,
That's it? You're
John,
not gonna...
where can we find you if we are looking for you?
You can Instagram, Hey Gorman, and the .co, johngorman.co.
Greg, have you activated any social media platforms at all?
Just Snapchat.
At Snap Your Life Away.
I also have an Instagram at the app, but I also have another one outside of that. But I've now started officially posting things only to Shane's pod.
Yes, I also only post things to Shane's pod. I only use Twitter to follow Adrian Wojnarowski. So
that's all you should do.
Follow me on Twitter, but I don't think I've tweeted in 2018. So you can follow me at Don't Take My Name, or you could email the show at Shane's Life is a Fantasy Draft at gmail.com.
Whoa! Wait,
that happened.
What?
Gmail, Google granted us license to use an email address, and it's there's a rumor floating around. I don't want to. Let's not tell too many people. There's a rumor floating around that this show may actually be available on Apple Podcasts and at the Google Play Store.
Whoa!
That was breaking news.
I'm definitely going to have to leave a comment.
Leave a comment, like, subscribe. I don't know what you do on Google Play Podcasts, but I'll figure that out. Subscribe, leave comments, rate, review. Give us 5 stars. Give us 6 stars. Give us 12 stars. I don't know. Give us lots of stars. And we will give you stars back. Is that how that works?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank everybody for listening. Greg, play the people off.
That's John. He's going to play a song.
Oh.
But I'll hit play.
That's what I meant.
All right. See you next
Peace out,
week.
everybody.
Blonde bombshell detonating ivy at the Ace of Spades Motel. Sweet talking like a chocolate cover lemonade, fresh fruit from the well. She's shaping up to be the sort of trouble that coronas can't chase away. Cut up the line, baby, finish the rhyme. Yeah, the sun still shines today. Miami got a mind out of sight, tracing her face in the pale moonlight. Fresh burnt fireflies, they don't lie, no they won't lie, yeah. I can play blackjack blind by the lightning in my mind. Turn away the ocean tide, but I just can't figure out what her eyes they silently shine. Oh, can't turn her tears to wine. Oh, can't turn her tears to wine. the ash, baby, but the smoke's still out of reach. Breathe deep, deep enough to dive down through the heavens and in the cloud nine. Oh, that's where it's at, that's where I belong, with my blonde bombshell and my troubles long gone. In my hand, I got a mind out of sight, tracing her face in the pale moonlight. Fresh burnt fireflies, baby, don't lie, no, they won't lie, yeah. I can play blackjack blind, bottle lightning in my mind, turn away the ocean tide. But I just can't figure out what her eyes they silently shout. Oh, eternities to wine. Oh, yeah, can't turn it tears to wine. In my hand, I got a mind out of sight, tracing her face in the pale moonlight. Fresh burnt firefly, baby, don't lie, no, they won't lie, yeah, 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 yeah. I can play blackjack blind, bottle lightning in my mind, turn away the ocean tide. But I just can't figure out her eyes, they silently shout, can't turn her tears to wine. Oh, you can't turn her tears to wine. Yeah.